And this season picks up, we find out where, in fact, Kenny went after he left April at the gas station, which is Mexico.
He's changed everything. He's tried to wash away his whole life and start anew. And so I think it's a big, stark change.
We always think that Kenny kind of sees himself as like the star of his own movie. And we figured that he sees himself as like an outlaw. And where outlaws always run off to is Mexico.
I think this season we have definitely kicked it up a notch. It's a lot darker. We're going to teach people a lot about different cultures.
It's how far down into rock bottom can you go and still maintain some sense of victory.
Kenny is Kenny. He's a cool guy, but he's fucked up.
Well, you know, Kenny wants to get a whole new identity down in Mexico. So Kenny is a cockfighter, and he has cornrows.
I think Jody came up with that idea, and we ran with it.
We figured, like, what is something bad that Kenny Powers could be into in Mexico, and cockfighting just kind of rose to the top.
We tried to incorporate what is unethical about that specific event, but also, you know, kind of try to show what people enjoy about it. No cocks were harmed in the making of this film, except maybe Kenny's.
With everything that's gone on in Kenny's life, he's still unapologetic. You know, he's a little bit of a Southern gentleman and then a huge asshole.
A lot of the attention will be directed at me.
I think everybody loves his character because everybody knows that kind of character.
Kenny is based on real people that we know. He says things that we've laughed about. Our lives are just being sponges off the strange things that we happen upon, little elements of what he might wear. It could be inspired by somebody we went to school with or names that appear on the show.
Even though you're Mexican, you seem normal.
Kenny has always been a boob man, but this season Kenny meets a girl by the name of Vita, played by Ana de la Reguera, and he faces the conflict, the internal struggle as to if he'll fully convert to being an ass man.
He kind of finds himself at a moral crossroads. He's starting to think that perhaps he was wrong. Perhaps he's been an ass man this whole time and he didn't know it.
She sings Bob Seger covers. She's very free and sexy and open and kind of a little bit crazy.
The fact that we all love Bob Seger and we get to cover his songs in Spanish is pretty awesome.
Can anyone get a fucking break around here?
Steve Little, I love Steve Little.
Stevie Janowski. He's nice and sweet and crazy and out there and dedicated. He's a lot of things, so I like that.
Writing for Stevie is a joy. I love writing for Stevie.
Look, a penny.
As far as his character is concerned, he's devoted to Kenny, so that's where the conflict comes from, and that's where a lot of his dialogue comes from.
Fucking missed you, man. I missed you a lot. Did you miss me?
I don't know. Sometimes I think he's shocked at how funny he is, and other times I think he doesn't know how funny he is.
He just wants a shepherd to teach him how to get laid, and that's what Kenny's trying to do, teach him to be a man. And then Don Johnson, who's playing my dad, that was just surreal. The first scene we shot with him, actually, he comes up to me, and I'm just thinking, holy shit.
It's like looking in two kind of fucked up mirrors.
And we wanted to have that reaction that when he looks up and takes his glasses off and he says, Kenny, and you hear that distinct Don Johnson, Miami Vice voice, it's a little bit like, oh my God, it's Don Johnson.
Eduardo, he's smooth like an iguana.
You could see that we were men that came from similar hair backgrounds. We didn't really know how we wanted him to look. We figured that he's, to us, kind of represented, you know, all the bad stuff about Kenny if there was no sort of conscience to it. He's not aiming to make himself better. We kind of feel like that's where Kenny's at that same crossroads. He could become his father. He could become a guy who just lies and cheats and steals and doesn't give a shit about anybody. Or he could try to find, you know, some enlightenment and turn his situation around. You know, the hair is what kind of pulled those two guys together. We thought that they should mirror each other in that aspect.
Danny and I have been trying to find something to do together for a while. And so this is the start. He said, come on down. So I hopped on a plane with the backpack. It was fun.
Jody just called me up, and he's like, dude, you gotta do a season of Eastbound Down. I was like, yeah, I'd love it.
And these characters are heightened to a degree, but they're also recognizable. And it is shocking and it is offensive to some, but for me, it's always a great sign to have something that divides audiences, gets people talking. It's just part of developing a creative process that feels satisfying to us.
You get what's on the script, and as soon as everybody feels pretty good with that, then you just open it up and improvise and see where it goes, and you know, a lot of that stuff stays in.
Danny say, I have a dot maker printer that still works.
This show is amazing to do because the script is hilarious, and then we get to improvise on top of the script, which is sort of the best way to improvise. If you're already starting from a really, really funny script, and then you get to just sort of add little moments here and there and respond to some crazy stuff that Danny's coming up with.
He says some things that are so left field, but are exactly what you need for, you know, for that and pertinent to that scene.
I own a taxi and limousine service.
They gave us a chance to just play and go crazy. You don't get to do that much as an actor. Just to do the scene over and over just for fun and just to see what comes out of it.
Particularly in comedy, you know, comedy where people are kind of stumbling their way through a scene, like some of the best stuff is just the lack of prepared, the lack of expectation, the lack of engineering that goes into it. So we're trying to be there to catch it.
You just do not know what could happen, and what's happening is genius.
They're cut out of the same cloth, these guys. They're very loose. They're really willing to accept what you bring to the table.
This shows this is a roller coaster of wild characters.
You just always go for a joke, and if it makes people laugh, and if it continues to make people laugh, it usually stays in the script. And then beyond that, it's just throw in as many dirty words and make it creative, and just whatever makes us laugh, honestly.
Anything racist usually is from Jody. Anything really dirty is usually from Sean. I come with the heart and the funniest jokes. That's usually what I contribute. Yeah.
These guys are really hilarious. I think they're the funniest group of guys around.
I think the fans should expect the unexpected. We have a lot of secrets, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way, so you'll have to watch and check it out.
He's as obnoxious and hysterical as ever. He still curses.
We've got some visitors that are here to play with us, so I think everybody will see where we're coming from and be pretty excited about it.
Along with a lot of great laughs and some more inappropriate comedy, you're also going to have a lot of sadness, a lot of sincerity, and hopefully some redemption.
Kenny's quest goes deeper and further. He gets deep inside Mexico, and it is not pretty. No, not at all.
Quiet, please.